Hello, Joe Gill here. I'm back. I'm back with another video, although I'm going to go off the subject. I want to tell about my dad's story. A story back in the 70s that kind of has to do with sexual assault. And this happened probably in 77, 78, I think 78. But anyway, this is a situation that my dad got in. And when he was telling me this sort of story years later, I couldn't believe it. So anyway, I'll just get into it. Bottom line, this started out as a bullying story. You know, back in the day, my older brother, as a kid, I had this. They had paper boys. My brother had a paper route. He used to deliver the Register and the Daily Star projects. This was in Orange County, in the city of La Habra. Anyway, when my brother would deliver newspapers, pedal his bike as a kid. Oh God, he had to be maybe 11, maybe 12 years old. And he would deliver newspapers, but he was bullied like on the other block over by some other older kids. I don't know, they were pulling him off his bike or throwing rocks at him, but really causing problems. So finally, my brother was coming home from his paper route one of the days, and he was just in tears, and he was just kind of crying. And he came to my dad, and he's just saying, "Oh, these kids." And my dad, that was it. He finally had just had it. So anyway, he went around the corner, went up there and got in these kids' faces. And the kids' parents weren't home. They were being babysat by some older, like, biker type of chick, older, really heavy set, fat kind of biker chick. And so he just started getting in, and it was a couple of them. There's probably about two of them. So we get in there and he says, "You know what, you need to leave my son," da-da-da-da-da, and just totally was getting in their faces. Probably threatening these kids a little bit or whatever. So finally, the babysitter, the biker chick or whatever, overheard my dad giving, these kids that were bullying my older brother, a bunch of shit. And she comes out charging my father. My dad wore, he actually wore cowboy boots at the time, so he didn't have the tip one. He had like the square. So she comes charging, and she's cussing at him. She's all, "What the fuck are you doing to these kids, you fucking asshole cocksucker? Don't you be talking fucking..." And she's just saying every dirty, foul language, four-letter word. So finally, my father started charging. So my dad gets ready, and my dad just kicks her, drop kicks her. He just goes, basically, I don't know if I can do it with his leg. He bounces on one leg and just goes, boom. He just, picture standing up, and, he just like literally just goes boom like that with his leg. Basically just drop kicks and just goes boom. Just snaps back his leg. Basically sort of does a forward drop kick. Hit her right in the gut, right in the chest, and she just goes flying. Knocks this girl on her ass. Now, when I heard that, I didn't believe it. I thought, bullshit, and I was calling my dad out on that. I was thinking, fucking bullshit, no fucking way. And he swears to God that it was the truth. Anyway, here's the moral of the story. So my dad leaves, goes back home. Anyway, she ends up calling the fucking police. She calls the damn police. Tells the police that, of course, my dad was, yelling at the kids or doing whatever. And then she decides to tell the police that my father sexually assaulted her. Tried to rape her, tried to, force himself upon her sexually. And, so the cop must have did this and said, "Oh, well, where is this guy at? Let's go talk to this guy," or whatever. So the cop comes, and I'm assuming brings her around to our house. I don't remember this as a kid. So he's basically telling my father what this is. My dad saying it's a lie. Then my dad tells his side of the story. My mom ends up coming out, and my dad says, "Look, it's a bullying situation. Those kids were beating up on my son. He's just trying to do a paper route." And then the cop, I'm not kidding, this is another thing I couldn't believe. The cop goes, "Sir, is this your wife right here?" And he's all, "Yeah." And he turns to the woman. He's all, "Miss," he's all, "I'm going to drop your claim of rape, or of this guy trying to force himself onto you." And he's all looking onto you sexually, because let me tell you something. There's no way that guy being married to her would ever rape you or force himself or really willingly have sex with you. And that's when I told, my dad was telling me this, and I go, "No way." And I said, "Yeah, to a certain extent, yeah." The cop didn't believe that your mom, that me being married to somebody like your mom would never be sexually interested in her, because she was a biker chick, and a big girl, basically a heavy chick. And I couldn't believe it. And I told my dad, I go, "You didn't get busted." I go, "You didn't get busted for anything. You didn't get investigated for the sexual assault or the rape or even drop kicking her." I go, "No. The cop just dismissed it or whatever. He just, whatever. It was done." He said that, and it was basically over. So I couldn't believe this, and I tried to call my dad out. But my dad insisted. He's all, "No, I swear to God, when your mom came out of the house and the police officer took one look at your mom, he knew that me forcing myself onto her was a bunch of BS." I don't know, I couldn't believe it, but my dad was just saying, he's like, "Trust me, I'm telling you it's the whole truth." But that in retrospect to what's going on with today with Harvey Weinstein and Spacey and all these allegations coming out, especially these girls bringing up allegations that happened 10, 20, 4, 5 years ago. And in my previous video, I'm talking about a soccer player. Oh, I forgot to mention the soccer player, the Hope chick. She brought it up not because she wants to press charges or she wants to get a lawyer and do this. She just says, "I want to bring it up as an awareness because it's so inappropriate and it's so this and all that." And I'm like, okay, well, my attitude was, maybe you should have brought it up 4 years ago. These people, when the incident happened, you deal with it then and there and take care of the problem then and there. But I'm just telling you, that's got to tell you the times, the sign of the big difference. I guarantee you, that cop, that were to happen nowadays, that police officer would have gotten busted for what he said. That girl, a female today, would have a lawsuit against that cop if that's the way he dealt with the situation and let my father go. If anything, my father would have gotten busted for drop kicking her fat ass across the whole yard, and trying to take the bullying thing into his own hands, but that's the way they dealt with bullies back then. Either your father went over there and threatened the parents or threatened the kids, threatened to beat the shit out of the kids that were bullying you, or threatened to beat the shit out of the parents. Or it's just like, "Well, son, I'm over 21, I'm too old, I'm going to teach you how to sucker punch these little bastards, or I'll teach you how to kick these kids' ass." I had a bully. You know what my father told me to do? He said, "Son, do this. Clench your fist up really tight, and just whenever you can, pow, right in the nose." He says, "That's all it takes to take care of a bully," is what my dad told me when I was a kid. He says, "You punch him right in the nose, and then that's it, the fight's over." Just do whatever you can. But, I didn't have the balls, so I managed to get through. I never punched anybody in the nose, though, but that's just the difference between 40 years ago and today, from 1978, 77, 78 to 2017 and 18. Anyway, I just thought I'd throw that story in there real quick. I'll get back to my part 2 video later on. Okay? Talk to you later. Bye.